All right, so I am live on Facebook and I'm live on Instagram. So, how cool is that? All right, so I have been posting about this for a long time, but very intentionally the last few weeks. Um, yeah, the last month, but and very specifically the last couple days, and that is emotional health. So, my name's Amy. If you're joining me live, give me an emoji, or if you're catching this later, hashtag replay, so I can give you a shout out and make sure I'm answering all questions that are being asked, either during this live or later. Okay, so I want to just make a couple points. One, we all know that thoughts are tied to emotions. We know this, but do we know this? And not only that, do we know what to do about it? Okay? Because we know that thoughts are attached to feelings and they create behaviors, and then we get results from that, right? And so we think, well, I want different results, so let me change my behavior, right? That's probably what you're thinking. Well, yeah, I want different results, so I want to change my behavior. That's great. I want to encourage you on that. But if you want to, in my opinion, take it further and deeper, and for it to be what I think is transformational, it is saying, okay, I'm going to actually go back to my thoughts and feelings attached to them. Because let's face it, I could hear something and be totally unfazed by it. You could hear something and it kind of hits a different chord, or vice versa, right? And so ask me how I'm becoming knowledgeable on this. Well, I'll let you know. I've been in trauma related therapy for my traumatic brain injury. And subsequently, there's been information coming my way. The brain is an amazing organ slash computer slash mechanical wonder. And our emotions are actually stored in our brain, right? And you're like, okay, Amy, well, how do you know this? Are you for sure? Well, when you smell something like flowers or a certain type of flower, and it takes you back to a memory, right? That memory and that smell is locked in your brain. There's a feeling attached. It's locked in your brain. There's like encyclopedias written about brains and the science and the neurology. I want to just talk like, okay, what I've been learning, because I want to be. I feel like there's a lot of connections that I'm making, and I'd be remiss, and a lot of healing that the Lord Jesus is providing through really looking at my thoughts and my feelings. And yeah, I'm going to be teaching more on this. This is kind of just a teaser. Um, but I've also been doing with some of the other training that I do. I've come across two different people who have talked about your brain and about how your brain wants to protect us. It's like it's designed to protect us. So we think of it in terms of, well, I don't want to step outside my comfort zone, but we know that when we step outside our comfort zone, that's when a lot of real change can happen. But it's like getting our brain to be okay with stepping outside our comfort zone, right? Our brain is all like, no, I'm good with my comfort zone, because I know what to expect, and it's going to keep me safe. But and that's just kind of one succinct example. So I have been working really hard to be like, okay, what are some thoughts I have? And I've been realizing a lot of my thoughts actually, here, this is just me being real, raw, and vulnerable. A lot of my thoughts lately turn very negative, and it's very, it depletes me, and it's very depressing. It's just, negative thoughts are not happy thoughts, so they're really depressing. And so I have been working really hard going, okay, like when I think this thought, what emotion comes up? And then, and they're not the fun emotions. They're the emotions that obviously are what I just said. They deplete your energy. They keep you focused downward and on yourself. And so I have been incorporating essential oils, because essential oils, the only part of your brain, the limbic system in your brain, which is where the seat of where your emotions are, where your emotions are, your memories are stored. The only way to reach that is through smell. Crazy, right? So you inhale those essential oils, specific ones, and they waft up in there, and they can the it's too deep to get into like the mechanics of it. Again, there's totally tons of books written on this, so I'm just going to keep it very like high level at this point. But these essential oils work with your brain to help unlock those emotional patterns you're in, and then help you then attach a new emotion to a thought. So that's something I've been working really hard on. Like, okay, I've got this thought and I've got this feeling attached to it, and it's like I want to have these new thoughts, have these new emotions attached to them, and so I can go, right? Okay. So today I went to the grocery store. I had a conversation with someone there, and I learned pretty quickly that we have different opinions on some things going on in the world, which is fine. Dialogue was fine, and fortunately, even though we don't know each other very well, we kept it very kind. But I could tell that she was really basically telling me that I was wrong, and I I just didn't pursue it because I thought it's just not. This is not a hill I'm going to die on. But when I'm driving home and I'm like trying not to think about it. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should have said this. And then I get home and I'm just like, oh, my thoughts are all like kind of getting mangled. Thank God they weren't like, but they were going there. And I was like, I want ice cream. Like that was my default. You're welcome. Answers. Ice cream is my answer for everything. So I wanted ice cream. And I was like, I wanted ice cream and I wanted a nap because I started like this downward spiral, and I was thinking all the things I should have said, I shouldn't have said, I would have said. It wasn't like I had ill feelings toward this woman. And then I was like, okay, I don't like how I'm feeling. Thank goodness I didn't have ice cream in the house. So I thought, okay, Amy, you know what? What do you tell other people to do? You tell other people to take a breath. So I focused on my breathing. I prayed, and I prayed for that person. And then I got my essential oils out, and I started inhaling oils that I know that are geared, they're designed to unlock those ruts, those pathways, those emotional pathways that I don't want to be on anymore, and help to form new ones. And so I'm inhaling like powerhouse oils, and I'm praying, and then I started applying Stress Away. Everybody knows Stress Away. Stress Away is like a go-to. You gotta have Stress Away. Um, and within moments, I was like calmed down. Not that I was that revved up, but I could have gotten really revved up slash taken a nap. And I got my emotions back where I could focus. And then I was able to get work done. And I've gotten a bunch of work done this afternoon when that wasn't my what I was really thinking. And so I did a video on this today, and I shared it earlier. It's in a reel on Instagram, and it's just on a Facebook post. So, but I would be remiss if I didn't come out here and ask you that question. Like, how are you supporting yourself? I mean, life comes at us pretty fast anyway, right? And then you add this huge unknown that is affecting us globally and dividing us. Like, how are you supporting yourself mentally and emotionally? Um, Oddly or unfortunately, um, one way that used to be my go-to, and I'm now calling it out that it's not my go-to anymore, is I want to numb my emotions. And so ice cream's a way to do that. I'm not here to judge. I am not here to tell you what to do. I am just here lovingly saying, I'm on this path with you guys. I am desiring to know more about how my brain works, especially since obviously healing from a traumatic brain injury. but also to be like, how can I help others as because I'm learning so much, and I want to share that with you guys. And I don't want us feeling low and depleted and feeling depressed. You know what? I want us being hopeful and being determined and being kind to each other and encouraging each other. And so, like, ask yourself, how are you supporting yourself emotionally, mentally during this time? Think of it, if you're like, I'm good. I hear you. I say that all the time too. And maybe in my 20s and 30s, I had more of a bandwidth for that. The older I get, I have to really focus on self care. So I think of it in this term. Think of it this way, because if you're like, this is brand new thoughts for you, or even brand new to be like, how do I take care of myself? Especially when you have many hats. And I'm talking to you, my sweet fellow women warriors, with your multiple hats, your moms, your grandmas, your sisters, your aunts, and you are doing your jobs and helping other people and volunteering and working multiple jobs. I say none of this lightly. But if we aren't filling our cup up, how can we pour out onto others? And so that's my posture in which I do share that. But think about it in terms of um, feeding our bodies. We wouldn't think about not eating or drinking every day. I'm talking drinking like water or coffee or tea. I'm not talking drinking like alcohol. um, but we're like, okay, it's not like I'm like, hey, I drank a gallon of water yesterday. I don't need to drink any water today, right? And so you may think, well, I had a spa weekend 2 years ago. That's great. There's never too many spa weekends to have. I need a spa weekend myself, actually. But it's like, how are you supporting yourself emotionally and mentally? So just be thinking about that. And I know when my therapist started asking me questions and asking me, like, what my automatic thoughts were, I mean, it was like drilling on concrete for her. I mean, it was hard because I just where I was at. And so, again, I come out at you all with the posture of truly wanting to help and being like, there are ways to help support you. Because I also don't want to come out here and give you another to do, because that's happened to me before a few years ago when I went into a caregiver role, and everyone was so sweet about giving me advice, and then I'm like thinking that is adding to my to-do list, and it was overwhelming. So what I've done for you on Instagram, go to my bio, and in the link you will in my bio you will see a link. Click on that link. And for people in Facebook, I will put a comment on this Facebook live, but it's also in my bio as well, a link. It's a link tree link. And I think I put it as the very first item. I think it's the very first item. Talks about oils and products I use to help my emotions. And I've got them right here. They were actually ones I literally was using today. And I've got a protocol for these three right here. They're on there: clarity, valor, and joy. These are ones that I'm using every day throughout the day, because just because I drank a gallon of water yesterday doesn't mean I don't need to drink any water today. So I do this particular protocol multiple times a day, along with other oils that I use. But in that first, I think it's the first link. Well, at this point, I will go make sure it is the first link option. But it's oils that I use to help support my emotions. And so I just want to let you know that that is available to you as well. And when you do go out and click that link and order your oils and or your Ningxia Red, Ningxia Red is huge, and that you land on my team and my community, and we have educational, all kinds of education. So and protocols and ways for you to help you and help support you on your wellness journey. So with that, if you want to reach out to me, that's fine, or comment here. I know these are emotions, and mental health can be very, not secret, but very private. So feel free to reach out to me individually with questions or concerns that you have. Also, just go out to the link and get what you need. And if you're like, Amy, I want to do that protocol with you, because everybody needs his protocol, in my opinion. Um, it is, that's another story for another day, but it has been extremely life-giving for me in the last week. I do not share a lot about what's going on with me personally, but I've had a lot of personal stuff going on, so I need all the emotional, mental support I can get. So anyway, I appreciate your all's time. This went a little bit longer than I meant to, so I do appreciate your all's time. And as always, I'm here to serve you on your wellness journey. So I hope you have a great evening, and I will talk to you next time. Now to find all of the ends for this videos. All right, thanks everybody.